going to teach you pastoralism in Africa, chapter 3. 5. Let us move to Africa, where over half the world pastoral population lives. And you have read that in the country there are some people who do not stay at their home, but they move from one place to another place with their cattle, and they make their livelihood. So in Africa, even today, over 22 million Africans depends on some form of pastoral activity for their livelihood. अफ्रीका में 22 मिलियन अफ्रीकन्स अभी भी they depend on some form of pastoral activity, है ना। वो आज भी घूम घूम करके उनकी कई ऐसी गतिविधियां रहती हैं कि जो वो घर में नहीं रुक करके चलते फिरते अपना व्यवसाय करते हैं। They include communities like Bedouins, Berbers, Maasai, Somali, Boran and Turkana. Most of them now live in the semi-arid grasslands of arid deserts where rain-fed agriculture is difficult. Because there is no rain, there is a very little rain. That is why those people they do not have agricultural activity. Crops are not grown there because of less rainfall. They raise cattle, camels, goats, sheep and donkeys, and they sell milk, meat, animal skin and wool. Because they are not involved in the agricultural activity, that is why they have sheep, cattle, other cattle, camels, and they sell the milk and milk products, leather and other things. In this way they make their livelihood. Some also earn through trade and transport. Other combine pastoral activity with agriculture. Still, others do a variety of odd jobs to supplement their meager and uncertain earnings from pastoralism. Like pastoralists in India, the lives of Africa pastoralists have changed dramatically over the colonial and post-colonial periods. What have these changes been? You have read about India that due to colonial rule, many people have lost their business. But so, in the same way, in Africa also, they had to lose their original job, pastoralist life, and they had to change their job. It's a bit bad. We We will discuss some of these changes by looking at one pastoral community, the Maasai, in some details. The Maasai cattle herders live primarily in East Africa. ये लोग ईस्ट अफ्रीका में रहते हैं और 3 lakh in southern Kenya and other 15 lakh in Tanzania. We will see how new laws and regulations took away their land and restricted their movement. This affected their lives in time of drought and even reshaped their social relationships. Where have the grazing lands gone? Now the question arises that where that grazing land has gone, why they have the people, the pastoralist people, why they have left their job. So now you will know that where the land has gone. One of the problems the Maasais have faced is the continuous loss of the grazing lands. This is the main problem, that when there is no grazing land, how they will rear the animals or cattle. So this is the problem. Before colonial times, Maasai land stretched over a vast area from North Kenya to the steppes of northern Tanzania. ये उत्तरी केन्या से लेकर के और उत्तरी तंजानिया तक ये लैंड था जहां ग्रेजिंग लैंड. In the late 19th century, European imperial powers scrambled for terrestrial possessions in Africa, slicing up the region into different colonies. In 1885, Maasai land was cut into half with an international boundary between British Kenya and German Tanzania. Subsequently, the best grazing lands were gradually taken over for white settlement, and the Maasai were pushed into a small area. These white people, colonials, they took that land for their settlement. अपने रहने के लिए उन्होंने उस जगह को ले लिया, उपयोग कर लिया, है ना. जो ग्रेजिंग लैंड था उसको अपने रहने के लिए ले लिया. तो इसलिए वो उनका ग्रेजिंग लैंड रह ही नहीं गया, बहुत शॉर्ट हो गया. ये उनके पास समस्या आई, जिसकी वजह से उनको अपना व्यवसाय छोड़ना पड़ा. साउथ केन्या and North Tanzania, the Maasai lost about 60% of their pre-colonial lands. They were confined to an arid zone with uncertain rainfall and poor pastures. From the late 19th century, the British colonial government in East Africa also encouraged local peasant communities to expand cultivation. As cultivation expanded, pasture lands were turned into cultivated fields, and the rest of the land which was left, that was also converted for agricultural land. Now the people started sowing the crops, so that also became less. In pre-colonial time, the Maasai pastoralists had dominated their agricultural neighbors both economically and politically. By the end of colonial rule, the situation had reversed. Large area of grazing land were also turned into game reserves like the Masai Mara and Samburu National Park in Kenya and Serengeti Park in Tanzania. And also, whatever the land was their grazing land, they used for games. National park they have developed, or park. So in this way, whatever the land was left, that was also covered with these parks. Pastoralists were not allowed to enter these reserves, और ये इनको अनुमति नहीं थी कि पास्टोरिस्ट वहां जा सके, है ना? They could neither hunt animals nor graze their herds in these areas. उस एरिया में इनको जाना भी मना था, वहां शिकार, जानवरों का शिकार भी नहीं कर सकते थे, और वहां अपने जानवरों को नहीं ले जा सकते थे चराने के लिए. Very often these reserves were in area that had traditionally been regular grazing grounds for Maasai herds. The Serengeti National Park, for instance, was created over 14,760 kilometers of Maasai grazing land. 14,760 kilometers land, which was grazing land, that has been covered in the national park. And those they were, the pastoralists were restricted. The loss of the finest grazing land and water resources created pressure on the small area of land that the Maasai were confined within. अब उनके पास बहुत थोड़ी सी एरिया बची थी जहां वो अपने जानवरों को ले जा सकते थे चराने के लिए, है ना? बहुत थोड़े में रह गए. कहाँ उतनी बड़ी एरिया थी और वो थोड़े में सिमट के आ गए. अब बेचारे वो कैसे अपने जानवरों को चारा उपलब्ध करवाएं? Continuous grazing within a small area inevitably meant a deterioration of the quality of pastures. Fodder was always in short supply. Feeding the cattle became a persistent problem. And now it has become a great problem for those people, for the pastoralists, because there was no land, grazing land, no fodder. So it has become a great problem. एक बड़ी समस्या बन गई कि कैसे वो जानवरों को चारा भूसा दें, कैसे उनको खिलाएं. इस प्रकार से उनको भी अपना व्यवसाय, बहुत सारे लोग अपना व्यवसाय बंद करें. Okay, thank you. I hope you have understood this topic.